that he believes will make her job easier once she's here. Gas in Mississippi has been going up, and Gas Buddy now reports that the state average is $2.44 for a gallon of regular. The cheapest in the state is at a station in Meridian, selling it for $2. The cheapest in the Jackson Metro, $2.11 at a station in Brandon. More news in 1 hour on 103.9 WYAB. I'm Chris Davis.
The views and opinions expressed in this program are the individual views and opinions of the people expressing them, and do not necessarily reflect those of this.
Welcome into the Lindsey Beckham Show. Happy Wednesday, everyone. It is Hump Day, and we are live here in the Men's Health and Women's Wellness of Mississippi studios, right here in the heart of Flora, the Cotton Exchange Plaza. Missed everyone yesterday. I had to be out, but I'm sure Shaun did a fabulous job filling in. I heard part of it. I haven't gotten to listen to the entire thing yet. I know he was hitting on some of the craziest parts of the Epstein files, which I'm sure he and I will get into in depth at length at some point here in the near future. We did miss Morgan yesterday, as I had to miss on a Tuesday. We normally have Pour It Out Tuesdays with Morgan Charleigh, but she will be back next Tuesday, rest assured. She texted me right before 12 yesterday and said, "It is today that you're not going to be there, right?" And I thought, oh no, I didn't remind her. I hope she's not at the station. But she wasn't. She was just making sure she had it right, because you know what perimenopause does to women and our brains. But she did. She had it right. She'll be back with us next Tuesday. So if there's anything that you have questions about or would like to hear Morgan and I break down, of course, you know there is no subject off the table where the two of us are concerned. So let us know, and we will definitely hit on those subject matters. I did spend yesterday or part of yesterday at a luncheon and event with the Mississippi Center for Public Policy. I was able to attend a dinner with our speakers Monday night and some other heavy hitters, I guess you would say, movers and shakers in the area. And so we kind of discussed what's going on here in Mississippi as far as education freedom and school choice are concerned. I know you're probably also very sick and tired of hearing me talk about that. And I'm sorry. But it is very important to me. I do think it is a very important issue with a lot of misconceptions, a lot of misinformation, disinformation out there. I was very pleased to see a packed room at the lunch yesterday. We did have national speaker, school choice evangelist in the room, Mr. Corey DeAngelis. He was with us for dinner Monday night. He was at the luncheon yesterday. He did some radio appearances yesterday, and then he immediately left the lunch and went and met with our governor, Tate Reeves, to discuss kind of where do we go from here now that, you know, our education freedom bill did pass out of the House committee off the House floor, but was killed in about 74 seconds over in the Senate Education Committee. So what do we do? Where do we go? How do we revive that? It doesn't really seem like there's much of a path forward when you look at the Senate and seeing how things have to come out of the Senate Education Committee. There's obviously a unanimous voice vote there to kill the bill. But it's not over yet. There's still a few tricks up our sleeves, and we'll see what we can get done here. But very, very successful event. Of course, Leah Ferretti from Mississippi Ready was there. We had Starla on the schedule. Starla from Americans for Prosperity Mississippi, also sponsors of the Lindsey Beckham Show. She unexpectedly had a loss in the family and had a funeral that she had to attend. But we had Stone Clanton, who was there to step in for her and did a fabulous job. And of course, I spoke for a few minutes. We heard from Corey. And then I think The best part of the entire lunch came at the very end, where we heard from a young girl, a teenage girl in Jackson, Mississippi, Anastasia, and she ended up being sick and she wasn't with us in person, but she had a video and she talked about her story and her family story. And I think those are the people our lawmakers need to hear from. Those are the people who this truly affects in their day-to-day lives. They are being homeschooled because obviously I'm sure their parents are afraid to send them to Jackson Public Schools, and that's where they are zoned. And they can't see spending the type of money they would need to spend to send them to a private school in the area. I have two daughters, both incredibly smart, both very well spoken. I spoke with Anastasia's younger sister. She was there in her place, and it just hearing those types of stories and the people that this truly affects in their day-to-day lives, I think there's nothing else more powerful than that. You know, you've heard Leah's story, and she talked about her children being diagnosed with dyslexia and how they needed more options. And then I talked about my story and how the misinformation, the lie that I'm more sick and tired of hearing more than any other is that we already have school choice in Mississippi. You can already pack up and move if you don't like the school you're zoned for, or you can homeschool your kid. You know, that's all fine and dandy for the people that can, but there are people who can't. And my family being one of those families that can't. When you unexpectedly lose your spouse and you've got kids and you've got two on the way, and then you have one who's born sick, who needs open heart surgery, who's then vaccine injured and is on the spectrum and needs that type of education that caters to his very unique and individual and specific needs. And you have one parent trying to make ends meet every single month, trying to stretch the dollars to pay the bills, to keep a roof over your heads, to keep your car from getting repossessed, to keep food in the pantry. It is not a choice for me. I currently work 3 jobs trying to make it, trying to provide for all 5 of my children. It is not an option to pack up and move. It's just not. So no, we do not have true choice here in Mississippi. That's a lie. And my family is one of the families that it affects. Anastasia's family, she has a school that she wants to go to. She has dreams and aspirations, and she plays the piano and very smart, great head on her shoulders. But her family cannot afford the school that would best suit her individual unique needs. And so she misses out on that opportunity. School choice is not about defunding public schools. It is not about taking money from public schools and giving it to private schools. It is very much about putting parents in the driver's seat and meeting the needs of each child based on their needs. And it is possible. There hasn't been a single public school across the country that has shut down in any of the 17 states that have passed universal school choice. Those are lies, and I am excited that I will get to call out those lies when I debate Nancy Loom, who is president of the Parents Campaign, which I'm going to say this every time I say the word Parents Campaign. I'm going to tell you that they are the most anti-parent organization there could possibly be. They should be called the Anti-Parents Campaign. But when that debate happens, we've had to reschedule twice because it's going to take place in Oxford. It is being put together by Young Americans for Liberty Foundation, their group in Oxford. And so when this does happen, the storm has delayed us, but it will happen. We're looking now at March 10th, but when it does happen, these are the things that I want to ask Nancy Loom face to face and hear what her response will be. Because what that organization has done is lie. They have fooled so many educators into believing their myths and their lies. And then the educators that do support education freedom are afraid to speak out about it because they are in fear for their jobs. I know that that's very true. Even in Madison County, when there were educators who wanted to speak out, who called me, wanted to let me know about certain curriculum, things in the curriculum that they weren't okay with, that they did not agree with, that they knew parents wouldn't be okay with. They were afraid to speak, afraid for their jobs. It shouldn't be that way. Our teachers should be able to go to their administration. They should be able to go to the school board and say, hey, we have a problem with this, without fear of repercussion. That's how it should work. They shouldn't be afraid to talk to parents about what their concerns are. I hope that that is one thing that we see change in the future. As I was getting ready, I was listening to Celeste Hurst speak on a radio show, and she was supposed to be on with Representative Jansen Owen. He could not be on because he was at the well explaining a bill, debating a bill. This bill would mandate schools give, with permission of the parents, give students the option or the time in the day to pray. To me, that seems pretty straightforward. Nobody's making you pray. Nobody is forcing anything. Nobody is forcing who you pray to. But it's just allowing that option as they are in school 7-8 hours out of the day. Yet, here we go, being heavily debated because, well, I don't even know why. Why would there be a problem with that? Why would our legislators have a problem with that? It doesn't quite make sense, if you ask me. More freedom, more opportunity. Isn't that what our country was founded on? That's what I've been told my whole life. That's what I've been made to believe. Land of the free. The American dream, where you have opportunity. But for some reason, that doesn't apply to education. It doesn't apply to our students. And what a shame that is. We got to take a break, but there is so much more to talk about. So many things that I want to break down today. Lots of stuff happening out there. And we are going to discuss as much of it as we can. Y'all stay with us. We will be right back here. WIB 103.9 on The Lindsey Beckham Show. We'll be right back. 103.9 on The Lindsey Beckham Show. We'll be right back.
Keep it tuned here to 103.9 WYAB. Americans for Prosperity is Mississippi's and the country's leading grassroots organization dedicated to promoting economic freedom and personal liberty. Americans for Prosperity advocates for limited government, free market policies, and empowering individuals. When given freedom and opportunity, Americans are capable of extraordinary things. If you are ready to make a difference in our community and want to get involved, then visit americansforprosperity.org. Be a part of positive change at americansforprosperity.org. Paid for by Americans for Prosperity.
Get ready, Louisiana! Johnny's Pizza House is turning up the heat with our Sweet the Swamp Pizza. Packed with crawfish, shrimp, a taste of crab, andouille sausage, bell peppers, onions, jalapenos, and a blend of Cajun spices, all smothered in delicious mozzarella cheese. It's the perfect bite of the bayou and the perfect meal for any Cajun crave. Try our Cajun Flint or dive into a Sweet the Swamp Pizza bowl. A taste of Louisiana flavor is waiting on you. Let's share a slice today at Johnny's Pizza House.
Pure Air Consultants offers services on your heating and cooling system. It's time to get your heating system serviced. We offer replacement, service, maintenance agreements. It's important because if you have a gas heating system, it can produce carbon monoxide. So you want to make sure you have your system serviced and cleaned to protect your family. You want to make sure your system is safe to run. You can find us on our website at mypureairconsultants.com, mypureairconsultants.com.
Doctor, AC doctor, what's your diagnosis? My whole house was hot as a fever. Now my house is frozen, cause my air conditioning's on. Doctor, my AC's broken. Doctor, the AC doctor, he healed my house, bless my soul.
The AC Doctors is your one-stop provider for air conditioning and heating installation, service, and repair. Contact us for money-saving repairs and lower energy bills.
Doctor, the AC doctor, he healed my house, bless my soul.
Google the AC Doctors and get some relief today. TheACDR.com.
Here at Lake Glass and Tint, we've become well known for two things: window tint and windshields. Now, when it comes to window tint, you already know that we're the go-to for home, car, and office. And as always, we offer free consultations. So if you're in the need of window tint or windshields, give us a call, 601-946-1000. Check us out on Facebook or Instagram or at lakeandglassandtint.com. Lake and Glass and Tint, where quality matters.
Friday mornings are special here on 103.9 WYAB. That's when we hit the pause button on the stressful issues of the day and enjoy interesting conversation and terrific music by some of the most outstanding artists in the world, all from Mississippi. I'm Jim Thorne, inviting you to join us every Friday morning at 9 for That's What's Happening's Blues and Arts Hour, made possible by Blue Cross and Blue Shield of Mississippi. It's good to be blue, and presented by one-of-a-kind, locally owned Fusion Coffee House, Highland Colony Parkway, Ridgeland.
The new year is off to a fast start, but you can't keep up if your vehicle is sidelined. Get to Mazda of Jackson and take advantage of these super deals before time runs out. Get 1.9% financing for 63 months on all 2025 Mazda CX-5s and 2026 CX-90s, CX-50s, and Mazda 3s with approved credits, and get 1-year maintenance included in your new vehicle purchase. Don't wait another minute to experience Mazda's exhilarating performance, top-notch safety, and reliability. Online at MazdaofJackson.com or visit I-55 Frontage Road.
Welcome back into the Lindsey Beckham Show. We are live here in the Men's Health and Women's Wellness of Mississippi studios, right here in the Cotton Exchange Plaza in Flora, Mississippi. You can call in to the show today, 601-879-0002. You can text in if you would rather do so, 601-879-4648. We are streaming live on Facebook, YouTube, and X. You can find me at my personal page, just Lindsey Beckham, or the Lindsey Beckham Show. I think it's the Lindsey Beckham Show on YouTube and then Lindsey Beckham on X. So all eyes are on Mississippi, it seems, at least according to the Wall Street Journal, who for 2 days in a row has released articles with Mississippi in the headlines. One was an opinion piece that came Monday, and then last night, a piece that was actually the editorial board. It features Delbert Hoseman's face on the cover of the article, and the headline reads, Republicans threaten Mississippi's miracle. The lieutenant governor bows to the teachers union and kills a school choice bill. Y'all all know that hashtag I love. Let me check with Nancy. Seems like Delbert Hoseman can't make decisions without checking with her first. I think maybe national attention is what some of our Republican legislators, especially over in the Senate, may need to put a little pressure on them. You know, here's a thought. What if Governor Reeves were to call a special session, and then a special session, and then a special session, and then a special session, bringing lawmakers back to Jackson over and over until they decide to do the right thing, until they decide to get on board with conservative Republican policy? You know, if you are constantly having to go to Jackson for a special session, you can't really be out campaigning for whatever office it is that you plan on running for, but your opponent probably will be. Interesting thought there. Not only that, but the Wall Street Journal has released several articles in the last several days having to do with this transgender topic. We talked last week about the American Medical Association and the Association of Plastic Surgeons now changing their recommendations when it comes to children, to minors, those going through puberty, all these new hormones being thrown into the mix. All of a sudden, a child decides they're in the wrong body. Of course, you all know how I feel about that. Transgender is not a real thing. It does not exist. There are 0 genders, 2 sexes, infinite personalities. And I feel like this is when the parents step in. This is when you affirm that you were fearfully and wonderfully made in the image of God. And anything else is a lie from the enemy. It's a lie from the depths of hell. What you don't do is feed into the lie that if you do not take your child to get gender affirming care, if you do not affirm that your child is what they feel like on this day, that your child may kill themselves. I've seen so many people say, well, I'd rather have a child who transitions than a dead child. Well, let's look at the facts here. The facts show that suicide comes into play when these adults wake up one day after puberty and realize that they have made decisions that are permanent, that they can never have a normal sexual, physical relationship. They can never have children. They'll probably never find someone who loves them for who they truly are because they have gone and butchered their bodies, cutting their breast off. And who even knows what the long-term effects are of feeding children high doses of hormones. There was a good piece in the Wall Street Journal about that yesterday. And then today, a piece about pronouns. Now, can a school district refuse to hire a K through 12 teacher if she or he won't use transgender pronouns? Well, listen to this idiocracy. The Fourth Circuit Court of Appeals said yes in a 2-1 decision late last month. And there was actually a dissent by what they call a conservative judge, Judge J. Harvey Wilkinson III. Now, I don't necessarily consider that person conservative if they're going to dissent in an opinion like this one. The Journal says similar disputes are bubbling up elsewhere, and so the Supreme Court at some point might need to clarify. Yes, please. Let's let the Supreme Court clarify what should be absolute common sense. Kimberly Ann Polk was previously a substitute teacher in Montgomery County, Maryland, until the district enforced its policy to require addressing students with the pronouns of their gender identities. Again, there is no such thing as gender. There is no such thing as a gender identity. Students must also grant permission before teachers discuss gender issues with their parents. So I've talked about that a good bit. We have a bill right now. It did pass out of the Senate Education Committee. Hopefully they will bring it out on the floor. I need to check and see if they have done that yet. Senator Angela Hill dropped a bill that will remove Mississippi from the American Counselors Association, or at least from their ethics policy, so that school counselors are not forced to keep secrets from parents here in Mississippi. So in this case, Ms. Polk declined to affirm these policies in her HR training, and then the district rejected her request for religious accommodations. They said that in the majority's view, the Maryland School Board hasn't infringed on anyone's rights by setting a rule for staff conduct. How a teacher addresses a particular student in a particular classroom and whether a teacher communicates with the student's parent is merely a part of that teacher's job description, writes Judge Robert B. King. Accepting her position as an elementary school substitute teacher subjected Polk to a substantial degree of control by the democratically elected board. Where's the logic here? Somebody please tell me. This decision of the majority leaves teachers completely vulnerable to becoming the unwilling mouthpieces of government messaging. Can the state force an Israeli teacher to wear a pro-Palestine pin? Can it tell an atheist teacher to recite the Pledge of Allegiance with the words "under God"? They said in Ms. Polk's case, the majority says classroom pronoun usage isn't speech as a private citizen, but part of a teacher's official duties. Well, I'm here to tell you, if I was a teacher and they tell me that my official duties include lying to a child and affirming that they are something they are clearly not, then it's time for a career change right then and there. Period. Full stop. So yes, I believe we will see the Supreme Court rule on this issue. And if the Supreme Court rules like they've been ruling on these types of issues, I don't think there will be any question of whether they will be allowed to force teachers to use these pronouns moving forward. And let's pray and hope that happens sooner rather than later. We got to take a break. We'll be right back here on The Lindsey Beckham Show. Stay with us. We got to take a break. We'll be right back here on The Lindsey Beckham Show. Stay with us.
1039 WYAB.
Americans for Prosperity is Mississippi's and the country's leading grassroots organization dedicated to promoting economic freedom and personal liberty. Americans for Prosperity advocates for limited government, free market policies, and empowering individuals. When given freedom and opportunity, Americans are capable of extraordinary things. If you are ready to make a difference in our community and want to get involved, then visit americansforprosperity.org. Be a part of positive change at americansforprosperity.org. Paid for by Americans for Prosperity.
Get ready, Louisiana! Johnny's Pizza House is turning up the heat with our sweet the swamp pizza. Packed with crawfish, shrimp, a taste of crab, andouille sausage, bell peppers, onions, jalapenos, and a blend of Cajun spices, all smothered in delicious mozzarella cheese. It's the perfect bite of the bayou and the perfect meal for any Cajun crave. Try our Cajun flip or dive into a sweet the swamp pizza bowl. A taste of Louisiana flavor is waiting on you. Let's share a slice today at Johnny's Pizza House.
Pure Air Consultants offers services on your heating and cooling system. It's time to get your heating system serviced. We offer replacement, service, maintenance agreements. It's important because if you have a gas heating system, it can produce carbon monoxide. So you want to make sure you have your system serviced and cleaned to protect your family. You want to make sure your system is safe to run. You can find us on our website at mypureairconsultants.com, mypureairconsultants.com.
CBS News brief. After a shutdown that lasted several hours, the FAA has now reopened the airport and airspace in El Paso, Texas. CBS's Mogo Adigwe.
We're learning that this closure stemmed from disagreements between the Federal Aviation Administration and Pentagon officials over drone-related tests.
Drones said to be run by Mexican cartels. On Capitol Hill, Maryland's Jamie Raskin led Democrats on a committee blasting Attorney General Bondi for her handling of the Jeffrey Epstein investigation.
Abandoning victims and coddling perpetrators is what you do best.
Prime Minister Mark Carney says there will be a full investigation into a mass shooting at a school and nearby home in Western Canada that left 9 people dead.
We will get through this. We will learn from this. But right now, it's a time to come together, as Canadians always do in these situations, these terrible situations, to support each other, to mourn together, and to grow together.
CBS News Brief. I'm Steve K.
Even with interest rates higher than recent norms, real estate values are still holding strong in Mississippi. We caught up again with one of Mississippi's top real estate agents, Shane Saxon, to explain his recent activity in the market.
In the last year or so, it's been the best of my career. Interest rates have been high, but the real estate market is here to stay. Land values especially are continuing to rise. Home values are holding. If you need help with anything in real estate, just give me a call.
Find Shane Saxon on Facebook or give him a call at 601-540-5040. Hopper Property, 601-724-1435.
When leaks, clogs, or cold showers slow you down, call on Anglin Plumbing, the plumbing experts who get the job done right the first time. Leaky faucet, sink, or toilet? Need a water heater installed? Call on Anglin Plumbing. You can always trust Anglin's reliable and hardworking technicians. Don't let plumbing headaches ruin your day. Call on Anglin Plumbing Service to get it fixed. And you can be a part of the team. Anglin Plumbing is now hiring. Learn more about Anglin Plumbing at anglinplumbing.com.
Have you thought about the cost of long-term care? In Mississippi, a home health aide can cost over $57,000 a year, and a private nursing home room can exceed $109,000 annually. Hi, my name is Cressley Pierce at Pierce Professional Agency. Long-term care insurance may help protect your savings and give you more options and peace of mind as you age. Learn how planning ahead could save you money and stress. Find me, Cressley Pierce, online today at MadisonPlans.com. That's MadisonPlans.com.
Pops Auto Sales on Highway 49 in Florence is where you come to buy quality pre-owned cars, trucks, and SUVs, priced to fit your budget. Stop by Pops Auto Sales today, where fair prices and superior service leads to satisfied repeat buyers. Or go to popsautosales.llc.com and browse our inventory and get pre-approved for zero down financing with approved credit, with service contracts and warranties available. And guys, our truck inventory is one of the largest for any independent dealer, period. Pops Auto Sales, Highway 49 in Florence.
Smart business owners will tell you the best time to start a new business is now. Whether you're thinking of starting a new business or expanding an existing one, the perfect location is the Cotton Exchange Plaza in Flora. Over 13,000 cars will pass by your business each and every day on Highway 49. Space is available now, so what are you waiting for? Call the Cotton Exchange Plaza at 601-879-3503 to find out how you can expand your business today. The Cotton Exchange Plaza in Flora, where we mean business.
Welcome back to the Lindsey Beckham Show, coming to you from the Men's Health and Women's Wellness of Mississippi studios. 601-879-0002 is the number to call in and be on air with me today. If you have anything you would like to discuss, 601-879-4648 is our text line. If you would rather share something with me in a text message. So the Epstein files, this is getting wilder by the minute, it seems. And I don't know about you, but it's just really hard for me to think that there's not some sort of connection with what is going on with Savannah Guthrie, her mom, Nancy, being taken. Maybe it's just a pure coincidence. But with her being one of the first ones to talk about the Epstein files, one of the first people to interview or talk to some of the survivors, the victims of Jeffrey Epstein, and now her mother's missing, and this is making national news. Also, how do you guys feel about the FBI and the media? Everybody's telling us that the door camera or the Ring or whatever type of system her mother, Nancy Guthrie, had in place, it was destroyed. They couldn't get those pictures, those videos. And then all of a sudden yesterday, 10 days after or 11 days after she's abducted, we're bombarded with videos and pictures that they've somehow been able to dig out of a cloud, metaverse. I don't even know. I'm not sure how they were able to finally get these images. If you haven't seen them, then you must be living under a rock because they've been everywhere. This person is clearly covered in head to toe, maybe 2 masks on, gloves, the whole 9 yards, a backpack. I keep reading that there was a weapon. I can't see the weapon in the photos. Maybe I'm not looking at in the right place, but they're all of a sudden able to dig this up. Or is this a distraction? I'm so untrusting of the government at this point because I believe there's so much they don't tell us. I believe there's so much that they do that could be harmful to us as Americans that it's hard to believe anything they say anymore. But now there's this case of this sickly, missing older woman who doesn't have her medicine with her, who just so happens to be the mother of a Today Show host who has clearly talked about the Epstein files. And it's kind of moved everyone's attention away from the release of the Epstein documents. And then we have Ghislaine Maxwell in a congressional hearing who refuses to talk. She pleads the fifth on every question that's being asked. And by the way, does it in such a arrogant narcissistic, egotistical manner that it will just make you sick to your stomach. And then today we have Pam Bondi answering questions, and haven't seen it or listened to it yet, but I hear she and Thomas Massey are just going back and forth at each other. That should be very interesting to watch later. And when we look at what has been released and you see every single powerful name, not just in our country, not just in America, but throughout the world, no wonder no one in either the Republican or the Democratic administrations has wanted to release this stuff. I think it very much proves Pizzagate has been real the entire time. What I want to know is, how can so many powerful men be attracted to minors this way? I'm so disgusted by it all. Truly, truly disgusted by every single bit of it. And every single one of them should be brought to justice. I don't care if it takes down government. We can rebuild. Burn the thing down. If these people were sexually trafficking and sexually abusing minors, and I don't even want to get into what else they could have been doing with these children, burn it down to the ground. They deserve to rot in hell. And I'm even starting to wonder, is Jeffrey Epstein even really dead? Yes, we have been told he killed himself. I've never believed that. Not for 1 second. There's obviously video missing from that night in his cell that they've come up with some lame excuse about how there's 1 minute missing every single night because it's when the cameras reset. Bull crap. You're telling me you want me to believe the lie that we put a man on the moon however many years ago, which that's BS in and of itself. That never happened. But you want me to believe that we were able to do that, but we don't have a camera system capable of recording every second? Yeah, and I've got some oceanfront property in Arizona to sell you. Please. Give us a little credit, people. We're not complete and total idiots the way that I guess you seem to think that we are. So part of me wonders if he is even dead. Is he even dead? He somehow was able and managed to make all of these connections to the most powerful people, not just in America, but in the entire world. Make it make sense. What is wrong with these people? And I don't know about you, but I would much, much rather every last one of these people be brought to justice and rebuild our government than allow them to get away with sexually abusing children. And here's something else I want to say. I love that they somehow now want to claim or start to use the phrase underage woman. No, absolutely not. They are children. Now, maybe using the phrase underage woman makes you feel a little bit better and not so sick at your stomach over what these children went through. But that's just word manipulation at its finest. These were innocent children, kids, babies. And I'm here to tell you, I'm a fan of Donald Trump, not as a person. I've always said that. But of this administration and the things that they've done on the issues that I care deeply about. But I'm also here to say, if he had anything to do with it, then he should be taken out and brought to justice just like every other one of them. Even if you knew about it, even if you only knew about it and you didn't do anything about it, shame on you. How dare you? How dare these most powerful people in the world, not only for engaging in this nonsense, and Lord, if all of it's true that we've seen, but not only for engaging in it, but for staying quiet about it if you knew about it. If you just knew about it and you didn't do something, then goodness knows I would not want to be you on Judgment Day. And that day is coming for each and every last one of us. That's a fact. We got to take a break. Stay with us. We'll be right back here to wrap things up on this Wednesday afternoon here on The Lindsey Beckham Show. Afternoon here on The Lindsey Beckham Show.
Keep it tuned here to 103.9 WYAB.
Looking for adventure, amazing food, and a little relaxation all in one place? You'll find it at Cypress Point Resort in Brandon. Load up the family and experience a real drive-through safari, petting zoo, and thrilling guided Jeep tours. Then slow it down with mouth-watering steaks at the steakhouse, or grab drinks and live music at the tavern. Planning a wedding or reunion? Cypress Point Resort has beautiful venues and cozy lodging. Ready for your big day or just a weekend escape? It's everything you love about the outdoors with a touch of luxury. Cypress Point Resort. Wild fun right around the corner.
We all love the farm-to-table food concept, right? Well, at Burnt Corn Farm, they bring you locally grown flowers straight from the farm to the vase. With a wide selection of flowers and excellent service, Burnt Corn Farm will make your next party or shower a southern delight. Sign up for a monthly bouquet subscription, and their farm-fresh flowers will brighten your days all season long. You can also book your next family photo session in their wildflower field. That's Burnt Corn Farm on Facebook and Instagram.
When it's time to get serious about work-ready equipment, come see me, Noah Sullivan, at H&H Chief Sales in Carthage. From rugged Big Tex trailers to durable CM and Legend X truck beds, H&H has what your truck needs to work harder and last longer. For the field, H&H carries reliable ag equipment from Salford, New Leader, and Chandler. Visit H&H Chief Sales in Carthage today or anytime at hhchiefsales.com. H&H, quality equipment, knowledgeable service, and solutions that work as hard as you do.
Efficient and trouble-free payroll processing is crucial to a business's success, and a lot of businesses are struggling with it. PeopleLease, a local payroll provider, not only offers top-of-the-line software, but also provides on-demand payroll support services. With PeopleLease, you're never on your own at every step of your payroll process. PeopleLease has the expertise in managing payroll challenges and will work hard to understand your business and employees. That's what makes PeopleLease the perfect choice for you and your business. Learn more online at peoplelease.com.
Have you been injured through no fault of your own? Do you know your rights? Don Evans does. Do you really believe that the insurance company would disclose all information to you? Don Evans will make sure that you are fully informed. It costs nothing to discuss your case. From car wrecks to malpractice, Don Evans will make you and your family whole again. Don Evans won't ever charge unless he collects for you. Call Don for a free, no-obligation consultation at 601-969-2006.
Hey, Rankin County, swing by the locally owned and award-winning 042 Wine and Spirits on Highway 80 next to Sonny's Barbecue in Brandon today. We've got one of the largest selections around with over 200 bourbons and whiskeys to ignite your taste buds, more than 50 vodkas, 50-plus tequilas, 30-plus rums, and ready-to-drink cocktails, as well as premium scotches. And get this, we've got over 400 wines in stock for the perfect pairing anytime. Discover your new favorites today at 042 Wine and Spirits right next to Sonny's Barbecue, Highway 80, Cross Gates, Brandon.
Attention homeowners and business owners. Complete Exteriors is now Elite Roofing and Gutters. Are your roof and gutters storm ready? The folks at Elite are your local experts in storm protection. Now is the time for an inspection and for proactive solutions that ensure your roof and gutters can withstand any storm. Get up to a possible $250 rebate on a new roofing system for all active military, veterans, and retirees. Online at eliteroofer.com.
Hi, this is Lee Atkins of Home Care Plus in Ridgeland. We are a proud carrier of Abena Premium Incontinence products. Abena has the most absorbency available, making changes and leaks less likely. After 7 years as a seller, I can tell you these products are amazing and worth every penny to quality of life for patient and caregiver. And we ship all incontinence products as well. So please come see us at Home Care Plus in Ridgeland for all the incontinence needs of you or your family member. That's Home Care Plus in Ridgeland.
We are back here on the Lindsey Beckham Show, coming to you from the Men's Health and Women's Wellness of Mississippi studios. We got just a few minutes left on the show. There were a few things that I'm going to scan over quickly that I did not get to today. We did hear from Secretary of Education Linda McMahon yesterday, and she has mandated that unions, teachers' unions, can no longer force teachers to pay union dues. That is a huge, huge win for this administration, y'all. Huge. And just because we don't have an official teachers' union here in the state of Mississippi, let me tell you, the Anti-Parents Campaign and the Mississippi Professional Educators League sure do act just like a union. These and don't for one second think that these pseudo teachers unions right here in Mississippi aren't taking money out of each and every check before it gets to our teachers' hands. I've talked to several teachers who say that after you get your license and before you start to teach, you're told you need these groups. They're here to protect you if you're ever sued. They're here to fight for you. You're never going to miss this $10 a month that's going to come out before you even see your paycheck. Then they also have your ear. Then they're also sending you these emails telling you who to vote for and what to be against and what to be for, filling our educators' heads full of their lies and mistruths and misinformation. Yesterday, I also saw, and I mean, not to say I told you so or anything, but who are we kidding? I love to say I told you so. The charts. Kid Rock posted, I could care less. And y'all, that's my pet peeve. I really can't stand it when people say could care less. It's couldn't care less, because if you could care less, then do it. Care less. So it should say, I couldn't care less about the charts, but I can't miss out on the fun of posting this. Thank you. God is good. The charts show the number one downloaded song was the new version of Till You Can't that Kid Rock performed in his halftime show. And then the original version of Till You Can't by Cody Johnson. And then the number 3 and 4 downloads, Bad Bunny. That's a win if you ask me. I'll be back tomorrow, same time, same place, where there will be much more to break down and discuss. Look forward to it, and I will see you then.